Tiff and Punisher stand tall in the light, shielding our kids from the shadowy night. With Spanny Eye on our side, we fight back.
Tiff and the Punisher, they won't back down, screaming out loud in every town. Stand against the system that's gone insane, fighting like lions, don't feel no pain. Abolish CPS, their rally cry. No kids for cash, we won't comply. Make parenting great, let's take a stand. Tiff and the Punisher, hand in hand. Voices heard, don't tread on me. Taking back rights, we will be free. Constitution in our veins, breaking these chains and claiming gains. Abolish CPS, their rally cry. No kids for cash, we won't comply. Make parenting great, let's take a stand. Tiff and the Punisher, hand in hand. Stealing kids, they gotta go. Fight the good fight, let everybody know. We'll raise our fists and say aloud, no more silence, join the crowd. Abolish CPS, their rally cry. No kids for cash, we won't comply. Make parenting great, let's take a stand. Tiff and the Punisher, hand in hand.
They are taking our kids every day. I shout them in and no one has a thing to say. For those who have been isolated, Don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallet. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeve. You can't do what you're trying to do. We have done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken, goddammit. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids' pictures held up like thin tags. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with high speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out CPS, here we come. Picking you one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. So give us back the kids you have taken. Tiff, the Punisher, sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows, and the only games you play are old Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher warrior, and we cry out to all of you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. All children are being stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. Stop.
Oh, he was singing. He was singing a song. Jump, 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 jump. What's up, little man?
Say hi. Stop picking your nose. He's picking
Oh,
his
wow.
nose.
Just taking it from Elon Musk's son when he was at the White House. Because that's where I'm. Look, I'm at the Oval Office today. I made it in here to the president's. I don't know where Trump is, but I'm just hanging out and just waiting for him to. I don't want to sit at his desk. You get in trouble for that. So, yeah, the shark. Where's the shark? Baby shark, baby shark. Nose picking shark.
Stop. Hold on. Somebody just knocked on my door.
All right. Yeah, I'll take care of this. So, guys, on what's up? Little man's going to take over here. Yo, little man. No, he's not going to take. Oh, well. So, guys, on last week, on Friday, Tiff and I did an interview with her newspaper in her town, and it went really well. I don't know if you guys saw the episode or not. And it really went really well. So I don't know if you guys checked that out or not. It's definitely in the live replays. You guys can check that out. But that went really well, don't you think, Tiff? That interview?
Yeah, I think it went well. I think you should play some of it.
Oh, okay. Put the pressure on me. I got it. I knew that was coming as soon as I said that word come out of my mouth, and I'm like, here we go. So yeah, hold on a minute. Let me pull some of it up.
Okay.
But no, I thought it was good. So where it was the newspaper from what? Your town?
Yeah, it's called the Winchester Gazette. It's an online newspaper. You can sign up for a free account. And actually, the girl that is coming on our show soon is actually going to another town hall meeting tomorrow night with more parents, and I hope they get more video because she's coming on our show. We just got to work out the kinks. But yeah, I love her, and we need more parents like her to stand up because, like I said, she pointed them out in front of God and everybody and said, those two social workers said I could not record them. And they
Oh.
stopped the meeting.
Did they really? Just because she had called him out?
No, they stopped the meeting because she wanted to record them.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Wow. But what's the rules on this stuff?
What was it? I couldn't hear you broke up.
I said, what's the rules on recording, right? Like, where's the rules for recording?
You can record anybody.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So don't let them tell you that you can't.
Right. They were just mad because she was calling them out on their bullshit and how they fraudulently did her paperwork and screwed her.
Right? Unbelievable. I'm trying to find where the hell is it? How many days ago was that? 3 days ago, it must be. Yeah, there it is. It's funny.
It was Friday.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. All right, let me start this over here.
One night on our show.
All right, here we go.
And it's actually a child amendment that is being removed by the Department of Child Protective Services, whether the allegations are true or not. This is in the country or statewide? That's through the whole country. We cannot get accurate numbers because, like Darren said, the government or the states are not reporting the actual numbers. Isn't that what we came up with, Darren?
Yep, that's correct. Every number, every agency says something different.
Just a question. Can you tell me your full name, Darren?
Yeah, it's Darren, Darren. Last name is Guay, Guay.
Okay. And you are related to Tiffany in what way? You work together?
Yeah, we're partners.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead. So let's talk about Winchester just for a moment. I was working with another girl who their attorney for CPS tried to get her to voluntarily. Department did not like the fact that she was seen with the father of her child without the child at a store buying a gift for the child.
Is that
because they want to charge her with failure to protect.
Is that
she called me and I told her absolutely.
Is that the case about the woman with the that was married to the black husband? Is that the one that you were talking about there?
No, this is another girl. And actually I found out they did terminate her parental rights, but she didn't get back to me in time. And she is thinking about coming on our show too. I told her, y'all need to expose these people.
You know, it's the
Hold
truth.
on. Let me answer. Let me tell Jonathan. There's some things that I can't do here because of some of the organizations that I'm with. I have to be very careful and tread very lightly. So I don't go to these meetings because it's just hard to explain. I would like to go, but I have to be careful what I do because I'm such a prominent person in my town. So trust me, they'll be recording. Go ahead, Darren.
All right. Hey, let's take a shout out. This is Vinny's mom. Hello, Vinny's mother. How are you? Say a little hello to her. All right, let's continue this here. Vinny's on his fight, guys. He's taking a little hiatus while he gets his stuff squared away. So, we all are thinking about Vinny, that's for sure. All right.
Here in Winchester.
But only she wasn't because the child was not with her.
Correct. The child was not with her. And CPS had to have been following her and watching her come out of the store. The father wanted the father. They had pictures of them coming out of the store together. Now, the child was not with them. You know, in Winchester, we have apple blossom every year, right?
Yes.
They also took pictures of them talking during the apple blossom parade. Child, again, was not there because the department doesn't like what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Their attorney filed to terminate her parental rights. So I'm just waiting to find out what this case is going to do because that's absolutely absurd. Nobody has the right to tell you how to live your life.
Mm-mm.
Exactly. No, one question. Is this attorney by the city, or is it like somebody, or why is her own attorney wants her to?
Well, here's the thing with the attorneys. The CPS attorney is the one that filed. The attorneys that they court appoint you, I know all of them. They don't do anything. And not only don't they do anything, they already know what these cases are going to be because the judges, the lawyers, the CPS workers, they all drink from the same water cooler.
Okay.
It's a racket.
They're all in collusion, and this is I'm guessing that people with less resources, that don't have money to pay for a lawyer, for their own lawyer.
Correct. The only reason that my daughter won is because I've been doing this for over 30 years. I knew everything. I'm a pattern person. I know their pattern. I know what they're going to say. I know where they're going to show up. I know what they're going to do. I know the police are coming, and I don't care.
Tiff, you say that you're a pattern person. What would you say? Why don't you go ahead and lay it out for everybody how it goes down from the moment of inception of a phone call? What's going to happen?
Well, once they get the phone call, within 24 hours, they're either going to show, if your kids are in school, they're going to show up at the school first. That's why you always want to have yourself covered and your child. If the child is not at school, they are coming to the home. So from the very beginning, they're going to use threats, intimidation, the police, you name it, they're going to throw it at you.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, from the very beginning, you record them, and most importantly, you stand on your constitutional rights because no one is above the law.
Mm-hmm.
And in their pattern here in Virginia, this is crazy, but it's true. They'll come see you like on a Monday. You won't hear from them. Friday afternoon, they're they're pulling the kid because it gives them an extra 2 days, which means your 72 hours is not up until Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. And that's something. Imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that. Weekends and holidays do not count.
But they got someone there to take your kid, but you
I
can't go
couldn't
to
hear you.
court. I said they got someone there to take your kid, but they can't. You can't go to court or anything like that. But on the weekends, they still come and take your kid.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely a game that they play, and it's a mind game too, because they give you extra 2 days to sit there in that suffering and not be able to do a damn thing about it. There's nothing you can do in those 2 days but sit there and dwell on it. So I tell everybody, I said, listen, there's nothing you can do about it this weekend. I say, unfortunately, but you know what? Use this time for you and your husband, if you're in a relationship or whatever, for you guys to just, go out and try your best to enjoy this, because you're going to go on a hell of a ride if you can't get out of this, if you can't get your kid back in that shelter hearing. So you might as well take this time to relax, regroup, do everything that you possibly can to get yourself in a good mental and physical shape for a fight that you're getting ready to have. I'm not saying go out and party and, have a grand old time, but I'm saying take this time to just enjoy the peace and quiet. Your kids are supposedly safe. So enjoy this time, like look things over, just you and your husband or you and your wife, just take your time and do these things so that you're ready and fresh for Monday, because once the fight's on, the fight's on. That's what I tell people anyway. That's of my own opinion. But I
Well,
don't know.
that also gives you the time to get your people together
Yeah.
and be at the courthouse first thing Monday morning. Because a lot of times parents will call me on a Friday night. Like this one girl called me on a Friday night. She was crying, oh my God, they took my kids. And I asked her, what's the relationship between you and the fathers? She was like, not very good. I said, oh no, honey, right now it's the best, because they need to be here Monday morning. Those
Yep.
kids were placed with their fathers that Wednesday.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Unreal. 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 But is there a law? I thought that there was a strict law, but I guess it goes state by state, right? Like you have 72-hour hearing, then there's some that have 48, but there's some that even have 5 days before you go to a hearing in front of a judge.
Yeah, that does differ. Here in Virginia, it's 72 hours. It's supposed to be 72 hours. Some parents have never even stepped in a courtroom yet because they
Right.
signed a safety plan.
So if you sign that safety plan, that null and voids any actions that would take place for the court hearing, so now they can drag it along?
Well, no, what it does is it gives the department extra time, right? Because now they don't have to file because you signed a safety plan that's good for 30 days. So they got 30 days to use anything and everything to throw at you to not return your children.
Right. Okay. And at this point, now we're for the shelter hearing or whatever it's called in your state. Are they on to other things now? Or are they still using the original accusation of what happened?
Well, it depends, because what I've been seeing here is do you see me on the live? Okay. What they're doing is, instead of in some cases, instead of dragging you through court, they'll give you a court date, and when you get to court, you think you're going to a dependency hearing, and they transfer custody to the other parent.
Oh. Without you even knowing.
Without you even knowing, you're going in there prepared for this dependency hearing. And the next thing you know, you're coming out of the court with you've lost custody of your child because now the other parent has it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Ugh. It's such an awful thing. How come they don't? Because most people don't even have attorneys at this point. When they first come and get your kids, they don't give you an attorney from that moment that you get your kids. You got to wait till you go to this hearing, and then they will adjudicate for you to have one in this instance. I believe I'm pretty positive that's the way I see it as being done, and that's how it is getting done. And that's if they even provide you with an attorney. So I don't know what the deal is with that one. This is not my area. But what is the deal with that? Are you supposed to have attorneys given to you by the state before any of this stuff goes down? Or is it supposed to be, what's it supposed to be like?
You're supposed to have an attorney. Well, let me talk about Virginia because I can't speak for every state. Every state is different. So, like, when they brought me in as a joiner, I went to court, had no clue that they court appointed me attorney. I didn't know anything. All I knew is they brought me in as a joiner. So when I get to court, I hear this little voice, right? Miss Wise, Miss Wise. I turned around and looked. I said, what? He said, I'm your lawyer. I said, little boy, I will chew you up and spit you out. No, you're not. But here's the thing. You know when I got my paperwork? 2 days later. Because they mailed it the day before my hearing.
So what good was that?
Well, they do it on purpose, right? Because sometimes if they don't want you to show up at the hearings, they will not serve you or mail you the information that you're supposed to be in court because they don't want you there fighting. Then they use it against you. Well, she didn't show up to the last court date.
Yeah. She doesn't care about her kids.
Right.
Yeah. That's what they'll do too.
Yeah. But if you notice, when you're supposed to be in court and you're not there, there's always a bench warrant for you.
Yeah, right? Every time.
But there's not one if you don't show up to a CPS hearing.
They don't get a dismissal. They don't get any of that stuff. Because the state wasn't prepared?
No, because the state proceeds without you.
Jonathan wants to know why when he asked for an appointed attorney, that they did not provide him with one.
It depends on your state. Because in Virginia, if you are dealing with dependency or CPS here in Virginia, they have to give you an attorney. They have to.
And you're supposed to be able to be present at that shelter hearing, right? Correct?
Well, you're supposed to be there.
Right. Now, what about if your lawyer tells you, they say, hey, you know what? Because the bar for this, well, up here they call it a preponderance amount of evidence. Around the United States, they call it different things. The burden of proof is named a little bit differently, but it all means the same. It means that Tiffany heard in the grocery store line from a guy standing in the front of the line that he got 15 cents in change. And so that's going to be why we investigate it. And that's all they need to hear. That's it. Some sort of piece of hearsay, and then they can use that as evidence against you. So what our attorneys had told us is, let's not go to this hearing because let's waive our right to have this hearing because the judge is going to get information that can be used against you set at a low bar. I disagree with that firmly, but what do you think about that?
Anytime a lawyer tells you not to show up at one of your court dates, you need to immediately fire him and turn his ass into the local and the state bar because every locality has a local bar and the state bar.
Right.
Now, I've always gone to all my hearings because I want to know what the hell they got to say about me. And let me tell you, they do not hold back. Oh, Miss Wise is belligerent. Miss Wise is yelling constitutional rights, human rights, all kind. I'm like, and
what's the proof?
Did I lie? No.
Right. Man, that's just crazy.
And sometimes I've even told parents, call the courthouse and find out if your name is on that docket because they're not going to tell you. They don't want you there. They're just a hot mess.
Right. Yeah, that's right. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, Luann, we know, just so you know, we know, we're just kind of putting it out there that's his business, and we didn't want to just kind of blast it out like that. So if you have that hearing coming up, people, you make sure you do everything in your power to make sure that you get to that hearing, no matter what you have to do, because the biggest thing is, you know what that court hearing actually does? Do you know why they push for it? They want to have it so quickly. Money. The money starts there. That's the first time that the judge actually adjudicates and puts his signature on a document that states that the state now has possession of that child, and here comes the money, comes flying in from there. That's why that's that one case that you will see. They will be there. They won't alter it. They won't change it. They won't nothing. That date is there no matter what. But what if they don't make it in that time period that they're supposed to make it in?
You broke up. Say it again.
So what if they don't make it in that time period? So it's supposed to be 72 hours and they don't give you it within 72 hours.
Then they have to return the child because they can't even hold an adult for 72 hours without charging them with something.
Gotcha.
And actually, let me tell you when the money starts. When they get a removal order.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Because I have my daughters, and it said one of the questions is the child in state custody? Yes or no? They checked yes. After the case was done over, right? Well, 2 days before the case was dismissed, they put that they got a grant for my grandson who was never in custody, not for 1 second, not 1 minute, not one nothing. Child support sending her letters. You have to repay this money. Her lawyer called and said, absolutely not. That child never left her custody. They lied.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I got the paperwork.
Yep. Now that's
it
not unconstitutional.
starts when they get the child in custody.
Yep. Yep. That's it. All right. Let's cruise on here. Let's see what else happened in the interview here.
And I've already told all of them, I don't care if you wear a black robe, a badge, or a bum in the street. We're all created equal, and I'm not the one because we have rights.
Yes. So what do you think is like the main reason they're like taking children away from their parents?
Darren, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it's money.
Sure is.
Money's the main reason.
What do you mean?
They are incentivized. They're incentivized to take your children away from you. So the federal government gives each one of these states X amount of dollars per dollar that they collect on. So, for instance, $5 of federal funds for every dollar that they collect in child support. They do the same thing with the American Safe Families Act. They incentivize the adoption of children. So these states get X amount of dollars for all of these things by the federal government for removing children and adopting them out. Or, they have different levels of classifications that kids get put into, whether they're going to be problematic or it's going to be an easy fostering situation. I don't know how many there is off the top of my head, the categories, but I know that there is a different number allotment of them. And each level is more than the other. So if you have a kid that, let's say, has a medical disorder and, so on and so forth, and it's going to be tough, they get maximum amount of dollars. And now they're putting into all this stuff, all these new legislatures that are coming out are increasing the amounts of monies for these foster families. So why wouldn't you want to be a foster family when you could be collecting excess of $100,000 a year on one of these kids? Tiff, do you know, I don't have it, I should have had it prepared today, but do you know what the classification is? Like, I know it's like what they get for each child in those different levels, and how they classify them.
Well, I know for the infants here in Virginia, it's $1,500 a month just for one infant. I've heard some foster families tell me that they're getting $6,000 a month.
Right, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Like the classifications that they have, like they classify the kids under, like if they're level 1, level 2.
Oh yeah, I don't know about that. I do know that they do get more money because the children that are disabled are classified in a whole different category with more money because they have more needs, supposedly have more needs. But I
Right.
will tell you this, in South Carolina, children that are biracial are considered disabled.
What? They're biracial. Say that again?
Children in South Carolina, if they are biracial, they are considered disabled.
What the hell? How come?
I don't know, but another advocate showed it to me because I didn't believe it. And sure enough, it said right there in their I guess manual or whatever, any biracial children that come into the system are classified as disabled.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
That would make me outraged if I was Hispanic or black, African American, whatever you want to classify themselves at. I would be outraged to know that because my kid is a combination of that they're considered disabled. That's disgusting. I mean, that's racism at its finest right there.
My whole thing is, if everybody took a DNA test right now, everybody is mixed with something.
It's called difficulty of care payments. They're not subject to. It says, and they are not considered earned income, meaning that they are not subject to the federal income tax and are intended to offset the cost of providing care for the foster child. Let's see here. See if I can get the actual breakdown. Levels of care to determine reimbursement rates based on the child's needs. Let's see. I can't find blah, blah, blah. Where is it? Levels of care. All right. Well, I'm gonna play a little bit more, and we're gonna figure this thing out. But I'm gonna continue on with this while I figure that out, and I'll get the answer for us. And the foster families are supposed to be there helping the families get their kids back. That's what the foster family is supposed to be, a temporary housing situation to assist families to do what they're supposed to do to get their kids back. And they're not doing that. They're doing it now so that they get this money. I wouldn't, why would you want to give that back? $100,000 of easy money, So that's what it's all about. It's all about the dollar.
Like they're not, like CPS is not prioritizing family reunifications back when no?
You have a 12% chance of getting reunified with your family if they get their kids in their possession. Whoa. 12% chance.
Is this statewide or
That's nationwide.
or in the country?
Yeah, that's in the country.
In Virginia, if you go to the JLARC of 2019, Virginia fell 51st in reunification. We returned 40% of the children, the other 60 were adopted out.
And we know that those numbers are... And those numbers are probably wrong.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Does that speak worse, you think?
Well, at that time, Virginia was the worst. JLARC hasn't gone back yet because they gave the Department of Social Services time to review and go over their stuff. So I'm waiting for the new one to come out, which it should come out, I'm going to say by this time next year. But we fell 51st in the nation for reunification, right? And that's heartbreaking. Because not only the CPS and the state get money, who do you think is funding these judges and these lawyers? Why would a judge who's supposed to be unbiased, right? You're not supposed to have a dog in this fight. Listen to a CPS worker on a false affidavit with no witness, because the state cannot be a witness against you. With no witness, only a complaint, and go in and get a removal order, right? Because the parent won't cooperate, because they don't tell parents that these safety plans or volunteer, right? That you don't have to consent to anything.
Mm.
So when they call me belligerent, oh, grandma's belligerent. Well, yes, I am belligerent because you're violating the superior law of the land, which is the Constitution. It is we the people, not we, Frederick, Winchester, and Clark,
Right.
right? Or Maine or Virginia. No, you're not the government. We are. And
Mhm.
these people that we pick to represent ourselves,
Yeah.
represent us, they're not doing their job either. And it could cost them their seats. Because let me tell you, we put them there and they forget that. When we bring something to their attention and we need it fixed or we need it revised or whatever the case may be, they don't do anything, especially with this subject, because they're scared. Aaron, am I lying?
No. Every government agency is scared of DCF, whatever you want to call them, CPS, whatever you want to call them, because nobody wants their kids taken. These people don't care what color you are. They don't care how much money you have. They don't care. If they're targeting you, they're gonna get your kids, and that's the demise of every person. You know, like, we're here on this earth to reproduce, and for them to come and take your kids for no reasons or next to no reasons, I mean, that's enough to scare the hell out of anybody. So people just walk away from it.
So what resources do parents need most when dealing with CPS in your experience? And how can you help a partner in this situation? What advice would you give them?
Well, we give them all kinds of advice. The first thing is we tell them, you immediately turn on your camera and record them, right? Because video doesn't lie.
Mm-hmm.
And if you watch the video with the CPS worker on my property that night, you will clearly see that she threatened, tried to coerce me, and all kinds of stuff. Well, if you don't sign this safety plan, I'm taking the baby into custody. I told her to go get a damn warrant. You're not taking anybody anywhere.
That's the first thing right there, is go get a warrant.
That's right.
Go get a warrant.
Yes, go get the removal order.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll judge shop. Because that's what they did here. They went to one judge, and the judge that they first went to was the one that I threatened to sue. And as soon as she saw my name on it, she passed it off to another judge.
Mm-hmm.
Were they trying to remove your daughter?
No, they were trying to remove my grandson that didn't even live in this state.
Okay. So did they give you a reason, or what was the...
Well, what happened was my daughter thought that my grandson had ate some CBD, not with Delta 8 or anything, just straight CBD. So she took it to the emergency room. 2 doctors, an emergency room doctor and an emergency room pediatrician, released my grandson, but a blonde-haired, blue-eyed nurse called CPS and said that she had an 18-month-old baby in her emergency room stoned off his gorge. Now, those videos, too, because we recorded CPS, are on my YouTube channel. Because I put Frederick County on blast. Absolutely not. And I got her fired for filing a false report.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an issue with the hospital.
Correct.
The nurses.
Well,
So
we had an
there's
issue.
a whole thing happening there, no? So the nurses are reporting. Are they using their, like, in collusion with CPS, or?
Well, here's the thing. This is what people don't know. CPS contracts with hospitals, pediatricians, the schools, anybody who's a mandated reporter, the daycares, they have contracts with them. And we try to educate our parents, right, on you must stand on your constitutional rights, your civil rights, your human rights, and your inalienable rights. Because it's up to you to stand up. I mean, it's good that we're advocates, but we can't always be there. So that's why we put it out on Tiff and the Punisher, because this is what we talk about.
Okay.
And parents have to know that they do not have to contract with the state. And the way to really help these families is stop removing the children. Because I will send you the website that we use.
Mhm.
There's a national website out here that put out an article. Children that are removed are 600 more times to be sexually abused, physically abused, or murdered
Mhm.
versus keeping them in the home, and instead of paying foster families, strangers, that money into the family and help that family.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, that should be like common sense.
It's so common sense that you'll see me if you watch my videos. I'll hit my head and be like, "Oh, should have had a VA." You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just so common. And
Okay, so from what I'm understanding, like I would love to make this article about a warning to the parents, no? Before
Mhm.
you are in this situation, make sure that you know this before you go to a hospital. These are your rights. Or if a CPS comes to your home, this is what you need to do.
Mhm.
So you say, first of all, video, then like ask for a warrant. If you go to a hospital, like what do you need to do, or what advice would you give them?
Darren actually found an article that is, and he said he has to refind it. But correct me if I'm wrong, Darren. Did you or did you not find an article that said if your child ends up in the emergency room, they automatically call CPS?
Correct. They're trying to get that. That's the new protocol. Is no matter what your kid is going into its emergency room for, any visit will warrant a CPS call. So parents need to know that first off. They're shopping for kids. They're shopping for merchandise. That's what they're doing.
Like the kids have like a medical emergency, like the children have them all the time. You're gonna get CPS calling you.
Correct.
And then CPS will like start a file on you and start following you, or what's the procedure there?
Yeah, they try to push the safety plan on you, and then you're under what? It depends on, I don't know if it's a state to state thing, but it's typically a 30 to 45 day investigation on you. And then if they don't find anything, which that's up to them, they'll find it if they want to find it. It could be anything from dirty dishes in your house to, I mean, they let these kids go, the ones that really need the help. That's why we see so many deaths in this. They don't go after them because those kids they consider unadoptable. They're going after the worst thing. The statistics show right now is the most families that are being attacked are a double parent home. That's the families that they're attacking. Families where the dad and the mom are still together, because their techniques are to go in and make the family break apart. That's what they want to do. They want to break the family unit. They're called the Division of Family Services. Think about that. Shit.
Wow.
They sure are, because I just looked at, I got a whole list for all 50 states. You scroll over, and each one of them, beside their name, says Division of Social Services, the Division of Child Protective Services. Just listen to that. It's not the department, it's the division.
Mm-hmm.
Divide.
Mm-hmm.
Divide the family.
Yep.
And like, for example,
hold on one second. The statistics also show that 80% of calls are unfounded. The children are not returned. The ones that are in need will never be removed because they are considered damaged goods and they cannot be sold. Because we're trafficking children.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. So, for example, in the case of Claire Connor, from what I understand, it's her husband that tried to take her partner tried to take the child from her, no, because they were like I don't know, separating or something.
Yeah.
So what she said is that they
like that.
Exactly. exactly, like blackmailing. So they tested her son, and they said that like he had methamphetamine or something. So this is like
Okay, so first let's talk about these drug tests. First of all, you really have to get a court order to take hair, blood, nails, urine. It doesn't matter what it is. Once these children go into state custody, the state believes that they can do anything they want without the parents' consent.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these drug tests are contracted by CPS, are ran by CPS. So what do you think, if they want a child, what do you think that drug test is going to come back, whether it's true or not?
positive, yeah.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Parents too.
And come to find out, most of these are only drug screens, which aren't even admissible in court. They don't even do true drug tests. They don't even do true drug tests. So these things don't even stand up to the court of law. And they're still taking kids off of these.
The American Bar
Do you have like
Go ahead.
in Winchester and Frederick County like a specific cases and names of people that are working there that you know that they're not doing their job properly?
Well, we only call names out on our show. Here's the thing. I call them out on my show because they retaliate. Okay?
Okay.
They retaliate against anybody who speaks out.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care if they retaliate on me. But because I work with certain organizations, I was told that I cannot name names.
Okay.
But I do want you to know that two things are going on with the American Bar Association. The American Bar Association is trying to eliminate termination of parental rights because they said it's a civil death penalty to the family, and it punishes the family and more so the child because they are traumatized when they're removed. The American Bar Association also came out last year and said that yes, Child Protective Services has policed Black and Hispanic families for over the last 4 years. Now, everything that we're telling you, we can prove to you. These aren't just opinions; these are facts.
Mm-hmm.
They have least Black and Hispanic children now.
Say that again.
They have less Black and Hispanic children now.
No, they have more. They have more per capita. There's more black and Hispanic kids taken per capita, but the percentages, there's more white kids than most. But per capita, there's more black.
They're taking more white kids. They're taking more white kids. Child Protective Service.
By the numbers, right, but not per capita. Per capita, they attack the black community way over the white community. So they say, like, I think the numbers were in such of 160,000, and these are just rough numbers because I don't have the exact ones, but there's 160,000 white kids in custody, and I think the Spanish and the black community split it pretty even with the other 80,000 apiece. So there's 80,000 black kids, 80,000 Hispanic kids, and then the rest Filipino, like down the line. But that's the numbers. But there's more white kids in America than there are black kids. So if you do the search at, look at how many they're targeting the black families.
Okay, yeah, no, so I understood it the other way. Yeah. So they're like targeting Black families and Hispanic families.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to datarepublican.com and type in foster care, you will see how big of an industry this is. Type in Child Protective Services. You will see how much money these people are making off the backs of children.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgusting.
It's like specifically to make it because we're a conservative newspaper, So, like, how do you see the problem like in Winchester compared to the other states, well, to the other cities in Virginia?
Well, I can't say that I see a difference anywhere because these children are being taken all across the country at the same rate.
Right.
But I will tell you this. I just got an email from Poverty Law School in Richmond. I'm going to be on the committee to reform Child Protective Services and foster care. And not only that, the work that I've been doing, I don't know if parents know this either. There's actually a bill that got passed and that I was a part of. There was two. In 2022, Wendy DeGaius now requires the Department of Social Services, if they do not place a child with kinship in this area or in Virginia, they have 15 days to report in a letter why the child cannot be placed with kinship. And it has to be good. It can't be because they got bunk beds, or it can't be because they have a criminal record that they look past 10 years for, because the law is very clear. 10 years. That's it. Not only that one, but they also put into Virginia that the social services here has 35 pages of barrier crimes. They were supposed to look at their barrier crimes and get rid of a lot of them. Have they done that? No. CPS workers, the judges and the lawyers, and even the police believe they're above the law.
Mm-hmm.
Have you you saw that Sarah Connor went to Winchester City Council? Have you spoken with any of the mayor or the city council or any of our county leaders?
No, you know why? They don't care, because now Claire is messing with their money.
Do you think there's going to be with retaliation because she with the people that she wasn't the only one there? There was some other people that spoke. Do you think that doing something like that would create retaliation against her?
Well, I don't think they're going to retaliate against her right now because she's brought it to the public light and you all reported on it. But once this case is done and over with, if she gets her son back, absolutely, they're going to find a reason to go after her because she's exposing them. And the best thing that I like about her, and she's coming on our show, the best thing that I like about her, because somebody actually sent me her video because they knew what I did, is that she pointed them out right in front of God and everybody. And I was so proud of her for doing that.
Yeah.
She literally pointed them out to the people and said, they told me I couldn't record. That's bullshit. These people work, right. These people work for us, and I tell parents, why are we paying them to steal our children?
So you know any other cases aside from Claire that are happening right now?
Well, the only other one that's happening right now that I'm aware of is I'm waiting to hear about the other case about them terminating her parental rights, because Darren and I work with all kinds of people across the country, and we work with a person that actually gets their termination of parental rights overturned and children back home. So if that happens to this other girl that I'm working with, we will be referring her to the other advocate to file against the department. But the biggest thing parents need to understand, and what they really need to know, and you can put our YouTube channel on there, Tiff and the Punisher, is you must record these people. You must stand on your constitutional rights from the very beginning, from the very first contact, and you must not speak to them because anything you say will be used against you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to know. I know that you cannot name names, but you know, there must be somebody that's doing their job right. So do you know somebody that is actually trying to change things and help people within the system?
Donald Trump.
There's nobody here. Yeah, well, Donald Trump. But as far as advocates, I think it's
No,
only.
but I mean in
I know what you meant.
private
I know what you meant.
that work for CPS. There must
Well, you know, I'm going to tell you how you know you had a good social worker. They quit.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
You know,
I'm serious. Am I lying?
no, you know how you know a social worker is lying?
Their mouth is moving.
Their mouth is moving. That's right.
So there's no social worker, there's nobody that you can say like, okay, this person is fighting the system and it's like,
Well, what about
like,
Tiff? What about your group? What about you and Michael there? What about you saying that stuff with the NAACP
Because
helping out?
because I had to get special permission and I didn't have time. That's why I can't talk about
Okay,
it.
I got you.
okay.
Strike that conversation.
But I will tell you this. The lawyer that I'm working with, her name is Valerie. She is trying to do something. And I'll be working with her law students and them to reform CPS. And let's just say the only way to reform this whole system across all the states is to tear it down and rebuild it.
Amen. No more band-aids for
Well,
us.
that's gonna, and you think, you mentioned Donald Trump, you think that they're looking into this, they're gonna like try to reform it?
We're
Oh
hoping.
yeah, well, KMI's already started because people think when they go to these hearings that they're court hearings, they're administrative hearings. And she put out a warning to all administrative law judges. We will no longer protect you if you violate the rights of people. And judges are going to tell people that the Constitution doesn't apply, that any federal law does not apply to them. The Supreme Court doesn't rule their courtroom. All kinds of stuff. But they're absolutely wrong. If you will notice, Virginia is starting to get in line with the federal government. There are 10,000 social workers that are going to be fired here in Virginia because they have to stay in coordinates with federal law. Because it goes like this. Superior law of the land, Constitution. Federal law, state law, local law. If any of those laws contradict the Constitution of the United States, they are null and void and they cannot be enforced.
Okay. Well, let's hope, no? At least, because yeah, it's like really bad for the parents and for the children especially, you know? Like,
It's for the children. The children are being.
traumatizing for the children.
That's it.
You know, they're the only person they know.
There's a great. Hey, listen. There's a great study done by the University of Baltimore. It's called "The Harm of Removal." You should look that up and see that what the
Okay.
that will tell you all the statistics you need to know about what the kids turn into and become, and everything else about the kids when they get removed from these homes.
Yeah, thank you for that information.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just I think we have a lot of information right now.
You
I
can
will-
stop it
I
now,
will
then.
contact you back in case I have any questions, and if you can tell me like
All right. Yeah.
I sent her so much
Oh, did
stuff that she said, Miss Wise, can you slow down on the emails?
You get a flood of Tiffany emails. When she says she's sending you stuff, she's sending you stuff. So be prepared. If you got just like a couple of kilobytes or whatever that is, kilobytes available on your Google Plan or whatever, you better load it up because Tiffany's coming. She's going to be worth at least a gigabyte of information. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Well, I think that interview went really well. Now I want to see what she actually puts from that interview in her article.
Right? It'll be pretty. It'll be. That's the first time I've ever been a part of like a newspaper interview. You know that? I've never been a part of a newspaper or a magazine interview. So be curious too.
Well,
hey, who do we got tomorrow?
tomorrow we have, I can't say his last name.
Weigel?
Dave.
Weigel? Is it Weigel? Weigel.
Yes, he is coming on tomorrow. He's very excited. He's a very nice man, very smart.
Yeah.
And he doesn't deal with CPS per se, but like he said, family courts, dependency, and CPS, they all go hand in hand.
Yeah, he's they call him a warrior too.
Yeah, he's the family court corruption warrior, I believe.
Something like that, yep. So he'll be on with us tomorrow night. So make sure you guys get over here to check that out. That's good stuff. We're getting out there, guys. The word is getting out there. And,
oh yeah.
Yeah. You know, it sucked tonight. I can't see what everybody are. I can't see any of the comments right here. I mean, I can see them off. I can't see them, so I don't know.
Thank you. Thank you, Amy. Tiff and the Punisher rock the house. Yeah, that's actually where I got that from. When your lips are moving, I know you're lying. Yeah. All right, Darren, I guess I'll see you tomorrow. I know Cairo's in there messing with some stuff because Kingston's over here asleep.
Right. I know. I'm just looking over these comments here. All right.
No, that's fine.
Well, tomorrow night, same time, same place. We'll be back here. And wake up, America, because revolution is coming. See you all tomorrow, same time, same place.
In 1776, brave men put up a fight, mowing down redcoats, they wanted freedom. They had to fight, and now we take the sacrifice in vain. They loaded their muskets, fired them one by one. That's why we have the freedom to own a gun, but we are blowing it. These freedoms were created by those before us. They were to be something that stays. But now things are so corrupted, they're taking our rights away. Hey, Uncle Sam, where did you go? I called Washington today, but nobody's home. We all want to stand for our freedom, but nobody wants to do it today. Can't you see time is a waste and the Constitution we love is fading? Make no tread on the reality, or the USA will be the next casualty. We are here for freedom, those we will protect. Unite for the values we cherish, or watch everything perish. Our men have fought for our freedoms, many women have too. Their blood spilled upon the ground, with the news many frown. They paid a price that many won't pay, now we are letting the cause fade away. The graves are being neglected by the actions of so many deceptive. The freedoms they fought for in every world war, conflict or mission, so many stayed behind signing petitions, while those awake dying were there to protect them. It's time to wake up in the USA. We are all slipping away into the darkness we once ran from. It's getting worse every day. Now they are taking our children more and more every day. No soldier ever fought for taking our children away. This is not why they bled for our freedom. They didn't die for some cheap pay. We all need to come together and fight this corruption, and it starts today. We need to wake up America, go back to parades, remember true family values, laugh again as children play. These are the things we fought for, 200 years strong, but now we're losing all of this. Don't tread on me does exist. So rise up and be strong. We don't have to go along. We need to push back now, like our forefathers did. It's time to bring back the way it was, when families lived together, all that mattered was love. It's not always easy to take back what they have grabbed. With all of us together we can do it, to loving children and mom and dad. This is our country, it's called USA. So many have fallen, say don't tread on me today.